Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, members of the committee. Thank you for this opportunity to present this bill that has been really a very important bill that I have worked on for multiple years. And I really appreciate the opportunity to present it today. I was very grateful to receive a call from the staff, from the chair, to present a bill that really addresses an issue that was brought to my attention several years ago by a kindergarten teacher. And she was my constituent, and she came to my office when shortly after I got elected, and she said, I don't know, Senator, if you have reviewed the statistics, but we are suspending and expelling little kids from schools at rates that are very alarming and very disproportionate, and we need to do something about it. So we began to do some research, and I believe that the members of the committee are aware of a report that was put together by the Commissioner of Human Rights with the former Commissioner of Education. And they found out that students of color and students with disabilities are twice as likely to be suspended or expelled from Minnesota schools than their white peers or students without disabilities. The Department of Human Rights did extensive reviews. It met with multiple principals, teachers, parents, and showed that students of color accounted for 66% of all school suspensions and expulsions in 2015 and 2016. There are some changes have taken place, but there is a lot of inconsistency about the work that has been done. And one of the issues that I want to call your attention to is that some of the districts, like the Minneapolis School District, for instance, decided to implement a system where they are recording with a greater deal of detail the suspensions. And so this particular study really encouraged the district to look at why children are being suspended and recording this information to understand what they need to do. So the value of this piece of legislation is that it really moves the districts, it pushes the districts to do more than just getting rid of a little kid, removing a kid from school, figuring out what are the practices that they need to adopt in order to address the disciplining of many of these young children. So in Minneapolis today, we have far more information about, some of the practices that they need to implement, some of the issues that children with disabilities face. What are some of the practices that teachers are implementing to really deal with some significant challenges that children that face trauma today are attending school, are in the classroom, they're receiving better training. So this bill, members, is really intended to address the needs of very young kids. And I have with me three experts that have agreed to testify today, and I am very grateful that they were available to provide testimony today. I have with me Dr. Bernardina Johnson, who was a superintendent and an administrator that many of you have known. I have a parent who would like to bring her perspective as a parent who really struggled addressing the needs of her kids, Ms. Jewel Edwards, and I have the chair of the board in Bloomington Schools, which was one of the districts that really had an extensive review that revealed that they were suspending and expelling kids of color at a ratio that was significantly high, and they had to really look at their practices. And I have an attorney who has represented many parents who will be available for questions. So thank you, members, for the opportunity to present, and I would like to yield to the chair to call the testimony, the people who will be providing testimony.